Hi, my name is Beth and welcome to this osteoporosis-friendly Pilates class. That means we're going to maintain a neutral position or natural curves of your spine for the entire session. As an option, we're going to use a blanket for the seated work. So if you're ready to begin this osteoporosis-friendly Pilates mat class, join me on the mat. So let's go ahead and begin in a standing position, feet parallel to one another. And we're going to begin with an awareness phase because this will really help you throughout the remainder of the class. Take some breath here and really sense your feet pressing down into the floor. And then just notice your legs. See if you can sense the curves of your spine, where the shoulders and arms are. Now we're going to deepen this awareness a little bit more and turn to the side, because if you feel along your lower spine, you'll notice the lower spine bows towards the abdomen, and that's natural. That happens just with the natural curves of your spine. Now through the class, we're going to try to keep the lower spine and abdomen in a really still position. So it's not going to do this, and it's not going to tuck underneath you. Going to keep it more neutral. In stillness, we'll let other body parts move. And if we go a little bit lower, the coccyx area, the tailbone area, wraps underneath. And again, we're going through natural curves of the spine. Now, if we go a little higher up the spine, the middle to upper spine naturally bows back behind us. And the neck naturally bows towards the throat. The cervical spine naturally bows towards the throat. And you can, at any time through the class, feel your lower back and the abdomen. And I'll cue you a few times through the session as an option. But we're going to try to maintain this, whether you're laying on your back, on your side, seated, or kneeling, or even on the front side of your body on your mat. So right now, maintaining low spine to abdomen in the same position. Bend the knees, legs go straight. This is an incredibly small knee bend. You can keep your hands low back to abdomen or arms by your side. Sometimes that tactile awareness just helps foster more security that we're not moving in the lower back. And sometimes we can have that without the hands as you keep coming back to this practice. Heels stay down, shoulders stay still. And now sense as the legs go straight, you push the floor down. Can you feel just maybe a little bit more power when you find a push with the legs down? Again, this is awareness phase, warm up, so this isn't too challenging right now. 2 more times, 2 and 1. Now we're going to still keep lower spine where it is and rock forward a little bit so your toes start gripping on the mat, and then rock back when the toes become light. We don't want to go so big with our motion that we fall off balance, but we're testing it a little bit. And if this feels a little precarious, take your hands on a wall or against a wall for a little extra support. So just feel that rock back and forth. One last time. Very nice. We're going to come back to standing at the very end of the class. But for right now, make your way down onto the mat, trying to maintain natural curves of the spine. So we come kneeling and we have a seat. We're going to lay down on side of the body and then roll on to your back. So once you're on your back, feet down, arms by your side, feel free to make adjustments. And we'll go through an awareness phase here before we get in to the bulk of the class. So notice right now the heavy points of your body on the mat. The head, most likely the upper back, the middle back, the pelvis, the feet, the shoulders and arms. You may draw awareness the neck, and the lower back may be lifted off the mat or maybe a little bit lighter on the mat. So for this first sequence, laying down on our backs, we're going to try not to let the curves of the spine change whatsoever. Arms by your side, and your next breath out, lift one leg up to tabletop. Shin comes parallel to the floor, and then replace through that foot. And let's do the same leg. Lift up and down. You may even want to take one hand behind your back if that's comfortable. opposite to abdomen, to really feel that the center body is not moving here. We're moving from the hip. We'll do one more time here. Take the foot down and switch sides. Opposite leg to lift and to lower. So center body stays incredibly still as the leg is moving. Breathing. One last time. Now pelvis continues to stay still and lower back. Open one knee out to the side and close. Switch sides right away. Open opposite leg out to the side and close. So you're rolling along your foot. And sometimes I like to let my hands rest on my pelvis. So I'm really sensing that and feeling that my pelvis is not rocking with the knee opening. So that requires a lot of stability and just allowing the leg to find its rotation. Open and close. One more time each side. And we're going to go into a pattern this next time. Lift one leg up, leg goes down, opposite leg lift and down, one thigh open and close, open and close. Repeat, lift to lower. Keep breathing. Shoulders staying heavy, pelvis staying still and low spine. Leg lift and down. So maybe you're starting to sense a little bit more is going on now. Going to continue one more time through. We're taking our time with this class, fostering more mindful awareness. Very nice. Now keep your thighs right next to each other and extend one leg. So one knee goes straight, replace. Two more times with that same leg. Leg goes straight, replace. Again, center body staying still. And now switch sides. Opposite leg goes straight, replace. Leg to straight. Last time. Very nice. Leg to tabletop. Leg goes straight. Leg to tabletop, leg down. Leg lift, straight. So it reaches away from you at the diagonal. The entire time, really sensing no movement in that center body. Do one more time, each side. And next time, foot replaces. We're going to add on. So take one leg to straight, thighs parallel to one another. Now lift your leg higher to the ceiling. It does not have to go all the way up. Again, really sense pelvis, low spine, not moving, and then you reach the leg forward. So be really honest with yourself. Maybe the leg lifts an inch. Maybe it goes a little higher. But you're concerning yourself with that sensation of center body isn't moving as the leg is. Two more times. Two. One last time. One. Foot replaces, switch sides. Extend to opposite leg. When you're ready, start arcing it up to the ceiling. It's your range of motion, not mine. So sometimes if the leg reaches too high up to the ceiling, that's going to make our pelvis and low back press down more firmly on the mat, which we do not want for this class. Two more times. Two. One last time. One. Extend the leg, replace through the foot. Very nice. Keep both feet down. Reach arms to ceiling. Head stays down. Exhale. Push the arms down next to the hips. Reach the arms back up towards the ceiling. And now we're going to start arcing the arms behind you, getting a little shoulder mobility, maybe stretch. Again, keeping spine still, arms ceiling. Let's repeat that. Arms push down. That's probably the easier range of motion. Arms reach up. Keep your head, your upper back, your mid, and lower back all where it is as the arms reach behind. Maybe the arms don't go as low back behind you then, and that's okay. We're staying really honest with our movements today. even if that means a smaller range of motion. One last time. Very nice. Now keep the arms to the ceiling for a breath. Inhale. Your next exhale, push the arms down, press into feet, pelvis stays still, and start pumping the arms. Strong arm pump. So we're going into 100, head staying down, low back staying in the same position, and your next breath out, lift one leg to tabletop. Maintain that leg in tabletop as you keep pumping through the arms. Deep breathing through the nose. When you exhale, it'll be through the mouth. The leg that's lifted, take that foot down, press evenly into both feet. And then let opposite leg lift to tabletop. Continue breathing. Strong arms. Knee trying to be right over hip. Another breath here. Very nice. Pause with the arms. Press both feet down. Reach arms to the ceiling. And let's let the arms open across from the shoulders. Find that press with the arms open across from the shoulders. Lift one thigh up. And now the lifted thigh opens out. Close. Return. Switch. Lift. So again, as you open the thigh out, pelvis stays really still. Instead of having the arms open, the hands can be on the pelvis as you're doing this alternating motion. Pelvis not moving. So that may mean smaller range of motion. This can be a very humbling exercise if we're really staying true to staying still and center body. Let's do one more time each side. Very nice. Both feet down. Now roll onto one of your sides. Use your hand. Push yourself up and we're going to have a seat. This is where you may want to sit up on a blanket if that helps you maintain natural curves of your spine. So even though I don't need a blanket, it sure does feel nice. So sitting nice and tall, you may want to feel, again, your lower spine where your abdomen is. You can keep your legs bent or legs go straight. Again, this is your personal practice. It's more important to honor the natural curves of your spine, even if that means you're going to keep your knees bent. Reach your arms in front of you. Now reach one arm up to the ceiling and reach and root down with your pelvis and let the crown of your head arm reach more up to the ceiling and then return. Switch sides. So we're trying to sense more elongation here without force in the back or in the ribs. Just getting longer, longer, longer as you stay more grounded with the pelvis. One last time each side. Very nice. Reach your arms in front of you and now take them down to the mat. You may want to bend your knees for this one as we start pivoting forward. Keep your pelvis still. Low spine tries to stay more natural curves and return. You may even put one hand front, one hand back, and it's a small pivot motion. So this isn't how far we can bend forward. Remember, we're not bending in the spine. It's really, really small. One last time. Very nice. Now let your legs come in towards one another. Squeeze your legs together if that feels comfortable. And reach your arms in front of you. And now start sweeping them next to the hips. You're going to move them behind the blanket a little bit. And roll the shoulders back. Press down into the fingertips, not in to the palms of the hand, because you're going to have to round your spine to do that. But press into the fingertips. Lift your chest up, root down with the pelvis. Let your chest maybe lift and open a little bit. So we're going to do some spine extension a little bit later on. This is just our first little preview of it. Breathe into the chest, into that middle back, the diaphragm. Take another breath here. Very nice. Now we'll come off the blanket and lay onto your side, knees bent. Reach arm long if that's comfortable for your head. Stack your legs here. Lift top leg up parallel to the floor and start reaching the knee in line with the shoulder. And then bring it back where it was. And this is one where you may want to take one hand on the lower back. Make sure that the lower back isn't moving. So this is very isolated work. And this, it's not uncommon for people to want to move in the lower back, but we're going to stay strong with the leg work and isolate it as well so the lower back doesn't move. Continue breathing and moving. One last time. Very nice. Now push your leg to straight and arc it in front of you just part way. Bring it back in line with the shoulder. So this is your like standing position. Reach forward. When the leg is in line with the shoulder, it's like you're in the standing position that we began in. So again, the hand can come to the lower back. Maybe the leg starts arcing further forward without the low spine pressing into the hand. So that may mean keeping a smaller range of motion because the leg is straight now. And that's okay. So we keep moving with Pilates, refining how you move. We'll stretch out the back body. Maybe that leg eventually goes a bigger range of motion, staying true to this isolated work. 2 more times. 2. And one last time. 1. Very nice. Bend through the knees. Push up using your hand, maintaining natural curves, and switch sides. So reach long with the arm, legs stacked. And when you're ready, lift the leg up and find the movement of knee, reaches in line with the shoulder, and then replace. So it's movement from the hip. If you're familiar with the side kick exercise, this is a variation of side kick. And this is a side kick is a classic Pilates exercise where we want the spine to stay still, and it's really easy for it to move around. So let's work on refining that practice, working isolated movement here. Let's do 2 more times. Very nice. Now take the leg just straight and we'll reach it in line with the shoulders and pelvis and reach it in front. So more classic side kick, but it's slow because again, I don't care how far forward you're getting the leg or how far back, really try to sense lower spine staying incredibly still here. Abdomen not moving either. So maybe it's gonna stay small for this class. Just give your body and mind time to work on that coordinated movement of isolation. 2. One last time. Very nice. Bend through the knees again. Push yourself up using hands. And now transition onto hands, onto knees. And if it's uncomfortable to kneel, use your blanket. That's a nice option. Now take some breath here, maintaining a natural position with your spine. Can you really sense the same curves that you've had standing, laying on your back, seated, and laying on your side? And this is going to be small, so very small. You're going to rock forward a little bit and then rock back. It's like a baby rock here. If we rock too much, when our pelvis reaches back, we'll have to round in the lower spine eventually, so go shy of that. And maybe sense your sits bones really pressing and spreading wide. So we're not sinking in the lower back, but it's definitely not rounding towards the ceiling either. One last time. Very nice. Reach one arm in front of you straight and now lift the arm up. Fingers tap down. Press evenly into knees and supporting hand as your arm lifts. So we're doing a little bit of center stability work here. Now we'll keep the arm lifted this next time. Circle it back behind you. Lower it down, fingers tap, lift. Keep your shoulders square to the floor. They really like to rotate here. So stay all squared up with pelvis, with shoulders. Maintain natural curves of spine. Keep the arm lifted. Circle in front of you. Replace hands, switch sides. Opposite arm reaches long. Lift to tap. Press evenly into knees, into hand. Reach long with the crown of the head. So just the arm moving and the breath, of course. Arm stays lifted, circle it back behind you, fingers tap. So finding the isolated movement in the arm without the spine moving. Keep arm lifted, circle, sweep it back behind you, hands underneath you. Honor the natural curves of your spine, straighten one leg back, tuck the toes, opposite leg joins, you're in plank. Right away your knees can come down. Again, tap into natural curves, whether your knees are down or you're in high plank. Keep breathing. Maintain your plank position. As you bend the elbows, you lower all the way down. Now, once you're down, we're going to do an awareness once again. Press into the feet. Sense where your pelvis is on the mat and where your abdomen is. Now, you're going to keep your pelvis and abdomen right where it is, your legs pressing down, and gently press into your hands. We're going to try not to let the lower back move any further as you let your upper and middle spine lift up and down. Now it's really common when you lift your upper and middle back that your abs or belly button feels heavier on the mat. Try not to let it feel heavier. So where might you have to move instead to lift the back if your belly button can't go heavier on the mat? Let's do 2 more times. Now we'll stay lifted. Keep breathing. Maybe crown of the head reaches further forward. Open arms across from the shoulders. That's a little bit more challenging. Pull the arms back behind you. So arms open. Reach the arms back behind you. Arms open. Reach the arms back behind you. Let's do just 2 more times. 2 and 1. Very nice. Hands underneath the shoulders. You can lower the spine down so the nose just grazes the mat, or keep a small lift with the upper and middle spine, your choice. One leg lifts and lowers. Opposite leg lift and lower. Now the leg's going to stay straight. It's an incredibly small lift. And again, can we keep the abdomen in the same position on the mat? Not let it sink heavier as your leg is lifting. If your spine is lifting, you're still working in the upper and middle back. If you need a little bit of break, remember your spine can come down. Now, keep one leg lifted. Kick it towards you twice. Kick, kick, straight, lower. Lift, kick, kick, straight, lower. Lift, kick, kick, straight, lower. Just keep breathing here. Spine lifted or not, let your shoulders roll away from the floor. We'll do 1 more time, each side. Very nice. Now press down into your knees, press into your hands. Notice the curves of your spine. Maintain them the same as you push yourself up. Walk your knees underneath the pelvis. We'll have a seat in the heels just for a moment. Bring one foot in front of you, maintaining natural curves, and bring yourself up. We're right back to where we began. So we're going back into the knee bends. We're going to change this up in just a moment, but just get both feet underneath you. Breathing in and out, soft in the shoulders. Still maintaining natural curves of the spine here. What we're going to do is let the pelvis reach back and come up. So it's not how far forward can we tip the upper body. The pelvis reaches back and then the upper body counterbalances. But the low spine needs to stay in the same position. We're just changing its shape in relation to the floor. Or changing its orientation, I should say, in relation to the floor. And if you don't like this kind of hinging at the hip motion, stay with the down and up, keeping more vertical. But this motion is nice to sense. So going nice and slow. Let's just do 2 more times. 2 and 1. Very nice. Now we'll keep the feet parallel to one another here. And imagine you're squeezing in and up on the mat. Can you sense that you're squeezing in and up on the mat? Lift one heel up, lower down. Opposite heel lift. So pelvis stays still as you're alternating. You may feel a little stretch in the back of the foot. If balance is challenging, I encourage you, go find a wall and put your hands against the wall for some support, because we're doing a little bit of balance work. We don't want to feel like it's so challenging that we're going to spill over. So stability, even though we're challenging that a little bit. We don't want to challenge it too much. Now keep one heel lifted. Go onto the tippy toes. Foot down. Opposite heel, find the tippy toes and down. Again, trying to keep pelvis, this area right here, really still. Lower back, very still. Abdomen still. Very nice. Now, lift, tippy toes. Maybe the leg lifts up a little bit. Find your balance here. At any time, the toes can come down for some support, or keep the leg lifted. Breathing. Another breath here. Very nice. Return, switch sides. Opposite leg lift, heel. Can stay, toes down, hands on the wall. Feel stable, and then lift thigh up a little bit. Anytime, toes can come down, using wall as much as needed. Breathing. Your next breath, both feet down. Bend through the knees, legs go straight, roll the shoulders a few times. Notice how you feel now compared to the beginning of the class. If you enjoyed that class, give it a thumbs up, and you may also like the downloadable guide, Osteo-Friendly Pilates Tips. You can get that in the first comment by clicking on the link. I hope that you have a beautiful day. Keep personalizing your Pilates practice to make it work for you.